Hi everybody, and welcome back to another video. So just to recap, we are a family of 5 living in Australia. It's myself, my partner and our 3 children, and we also have 3 pets. So this channel is just about our budgeting journey for 2022 so far. We're trying to pay down about $25,000 worth of debt, so that's credit card and car loans. And yeah, we've had some exciting things already happen so far since we began in January, and we've got some more exciting things hopefully to come. So you'll know if you watched the previous video that my partner has just got a new job. Now he still has not started that, but it will leave us with 2 weeks where we will not have any income other than the Centrelink money that I get for being on the government's 18 weeks, I believe it is, paid parental leave, because we only had just recently had our 3rd baby. So today we're going to have a look at our previous week. So we budget weekly, and I'll just zoom you in a little bit. We budget weekly at the moment, and that's just sort of what works best for us, but I'm not sure looking forward how I'm going to run the budget, I suppose, in March. Now this is for the week that's just been. So you'll see here we had the 2 wages. So that's my partner's normal weekly wage, and this was my wage. I actually did a keep in touch day, which you can do while you're on the paid parental leave, and I wasn't sure how much I was going to get for that, just because, you know, it's hard to guess how much tax is going to come out and all of that sort of thing. So that was nice. It was a little bit extra, more than I thought. And then we had quite a decent rollover from the previous week. And then the other, I actually forgot what this was. I was like, why had I put that on there? I went back through the bank accounts and had a look. And it was, there was a big medical bill that we had to pay for when our baby had to go to hospital when he was a month old. And it was just a Medicare rebate that came back in from paying that bill. So our income for that week, you can see here. So it was $217 more than I had budgeted for. So that's nice, especially leading up to these 2 weeks where we're going to have no income. I'm trying to, you know, sort of maintain as much rollover as I possibly can. Our bills that we had here, now I had this one down as I believe it might be a home insurance, and I had it written down there, but I had got myself, I think, a bit muddled up with my calendar when I was writing it out for the beginning of the month. That was actually paid in the last week's budget tracker. So that ended up being 0, but I didn't want to take it away just in case it did come out. So I thought, you know, maybe I didn't make a mistake. Maybe it is to come out, but no, it didn't. We then had our mortgages. So this week we've got 4 mortgage accounts, so we had to pay all 4. That means now this new budget week we'll have only 3 to pay, because 3 are set up weekly and 1 is fortnightly. Childcare costs, so that's always the same. Now I'm sorry the purple is so dark. I'm trying to, I think maybe for March onwards I might swap over to the blue for debt, which the blue is currently for like home maintenance sort of things, which we have been yet to use. So I'm wondering if that might make it a little bit easier to read. But that's one of the vehicle loans. Then we had a friend's birthday, so we budgeted some money for that. This one is our hospital cover, and I recently just upgraded us to include extras cover as well. Now I know we're on like a debt payoff journey, so trying to reduce costs, but we do have a few things coming up where we are going to need to go. I've got a physio appointment today, and I know that I'm going to need to go back and continue that. It won't be a one-off thing. and it's quite expensive. You know, it could be up to $90 per visit, where having the extras cover will help reduce that down. So this will be going up. Our next payment's actually going to be quite a bit more, just simply for the fact that from when I called them, this payment had already come out. So the cover started that day, so I need to pay, you know, back to the date that I phoned up. This is another vehicle loan, and then we had dance. So our eldest does dance class, and that was the term 1 fee. So she does 2 classes. So that's what that one is for. So then we move on to our envelopes. So we've got Valentine's Day is coming up. Now, Valentine's Day is actually we're not married, but it's our anniversary. So we're actually going out for dinner the weekend after. So my parents are going to have all the children. We're going to go out for a child-free tea. So I'm just budgeting some money early on. So I've got some money aside this week and next week. But I'm just not sure what I'm going to do because, like I said, I'm trying to keep as much as I can to roll over to help with those 2 weeks. So next week I had budgeted 100, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that whole amount. I have to look at the menu of the place we're going and sort of work out maybe what we get to see how much should we budget for. Groceries was $100. Now, this was not enough money this week. We actually ran out of nappies for our middle child. So that was a bit of a, she is just started toilet training. So, and I've spoken previously on my Instagram about how we have cloth nappies. So we've been utilising the cloth nappies for the daytime naps and knickers. So we've really started toilet training, and she's quite ready now. She's had a great day. The day we ran out of nappies, she had a great day there. She went to childcare. They said, oh, she didn't have such a good day. Maybe, you know, try pull-ups. But our middle child is either, you know, all in or nothing. So if she's ready to toilet train, she just needs to go full on with underwear and nothing else. So we've got some training knickers as well that have a little bit of built-in absorbency, and actually bought some nappies. I had a voucher for a chemist that I won from a radio competition, so I bought our baby some new nappies for nighttime nappies. So we buy the good brand ones for nighttime because we find they just hold the best, and because our middle child, she's so tiny, they actually fit her. So for the nighttime, we've been able to use those for her instead of trying to, you know, put in extra absorbent liners in the cloth nappies to try and get her through to nighttime, because she does like to drink water throughout the night. So doing a cloth nappy in the evening I don't believe would work for her, because she would wake up. She often even wets through her nappies at night time. She drinks that much water. So and she's a very thirsty little thing, so we can't really take her water, you know, away from her, because then that just ends in tears. So the budget anyway for the groceries this week, so I went off on a bit of a tangent there. It wasn't enough, but we managed to make it work, and we didn't go, you know, and panic and go and buy more nappies for her. We just sort of made a choice to, you know, look, we're doing a budget and we need to find a way to make this work, because we don't have any money left in the budget for this week. Fuel was $25. Now, we both actually have not needed fuel, I think, for the last 2 weeks. Excuse me. So that's been building up quite nicely. I think I budgeted maybe $50 next week for it, but I could probably get away again with just doing $25, because I know that my vehicle, now that I'm not at work, I really am only driving sort of to and from school or childcare. I could probably get away almost another week in my car without having to worry about petrol. So, and then that's going to be, with my partner starting this new job, is really going to reduce our fuel costs down. Here in the emergency fund, in my budget section, I had done 26, but you can see here, because of that extra 2 incomes that we had, of that one being higher and that rebate from Medicare, we actually had a lot more left in actual. So I just rounded hit to $29 just to bring this back to a nice even $250. I made the choice we weren't going to do any debt payments this week because I want to get that roll up building. So that's where we ended with this budget tracker from the 3rd to the 9th. Then that takes us over, and I don't know, you would have seen in previous videos that I run a little tracker here just to make sure everything's spent, like it all totals out to the income that came in. I just like this. I like to know exactly where we're at. I don't like to wait until the end of the month to sort of, I like to just be able to balance that part weekly and to balance in the different categories as well to see how we're going. And now I think I got a little bit confused last month when I did the balance because I had the rollover, I think, flagged as under income. And then when I added up all my income in like the monthly tracker section, it really threw that out because I was sort of accounting for money twice. So I've just made a little rollover category here to see if that will help me. But by doing this, I sort of feel like maybe I don't need to run my tracker because we're not spending more than what we're budgeting for. So you'll see here now, again, the weekly wage of my partner, it is what it is. Unless he doesn't work for the full week, then it's less because he's still, like, he's casual in his job he's still currently in. We've had the Centrelink money come in. We'll be due for perhaps a rent payment. Again, still waiting to hear what's happening with that water pump that needs to be fixed. And then we had the rollover amount. So we have prepaid phones that we just have like a SIM card. We own our phones like ourselves. And so we just need to recharge our phones for the month. So because I'm home at the moment, we usually either do, like, one of us will do $30, one of us will do $20, and then we like alternate each month. But because I'm home and not using my mobile data and using our home internet, I'm able to get away with just doing $20 every month. So I've only budgeted $40, which means my partner must be due for just a $20 recharge as well. We've got the 3 mortgages, so it's a bit less. Childcare, vehicle loan, vehicle insurance, that's for the 2 cars, the other vehicle loan. Then we've got Spotify, which I'm not sure for this month whether I'm just going to cancel the Spotify and the Disney just to save a little bit of money, but I think we might be okay without having to do that. I had a note in the previous week about, like, cancel anything that, you know, isn't vital to help us get by this month, and to maybe look at what we have around the house that we could sell just to top up the income a little bit. So I need to look into that a bit more. And then, like I said, I'll have a physio appointment. That's actually, today is the 10th. I have no idea how much that's going to be. So I've just sort of left that there open-ended. I know we'll have enough money because the rollover for the end of this month is quite high. But then we'll see what it's going to be. And then that'll give me an indication moving forward if they say, you know, we want to see you every month, of how much I should be budgeting. So here you can see in the envelopes we had the Valentine's Day dinner, fuel. So actually it wasn't 50, it was 100 that I put in there, and we definitely do not need to allow that much. And groceries, 150 being a little bit higher. But I've actually done up a meal plan for really the next week, written up a shopping list, and we should be able to get away with hopefully not spending that full amount. So that'll be good. I decided nothing for the sinking funds because this month is just about getting by with, you know, the little income that we will have over the total month. To round it down to a nice figure, I figured I would dump $90 onto that credit card that we're really close to paying down now. It's under $1,000, so we're getting close. So I'm going to put $90 onto there, and that will leave me with $900 rollover. So that'll set us up nicely for the next week, and then we'll see how we go. when I've gone through and done up all of these for February, we have managed to get to the end of February fine, but then the first week of March, that will be a problem. We're going to have to pull money from somewhere. So whether it be those redraw accounts that you know I've spoken about previously, which we were going to use towards the credit card, but then with the job change happening, I decided against it. So, and this is exactly why we have that redraw, like that we don't just spend it willy-nilly or do with anything else, and why I was a bit apprehensive about using it on the credit card, because for just things like this, because my partner being a casual, if he was to get sick, you know, we might need that money to pay for the important bills that have to get paid. So I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do yet. He does, I'm not sure what it's like in other countries, but being that he's in the trade industry and he's worked there for about 13 years, he does have long service leave that he will now be able to put in an application for, to get the remainder of that all paid out, because he's not looking at going back into the trade industry once he's leaving now. He's decided like that's it. He doesn't want to do that any further. So that'll be some nice money to come in, and then we'll have to make a decision what we do with that. So whether we pay off a car loan, we're thinking about potentially selling his car, because it's a tradie car, and it's very expensive in its registration. We've got that car loan on it, it's a smaller one. So the registration, the fuel, all of that is quite expensive. So we're thinking we'll probably end up selling that, and hopefully we'll get enough money to definitely pay off that car loan. But depending what we can sell it for, we may even be able to pay off this other car loan as well. So that would be really nice. And just to, you know, I always say, like, imagine if we weren't paying this every week, how much more freedom it would give us to, you know, put money into sinking funds, save for things, or start looking at paying off one of those like 4 mortgage accounts. It would just be really, it would allow a lot of freedom. So that's where we are from last week, where we ended there, and where we're looking at for this week. I've got a little bit of money to pull out, only $150, because you'll know that I don't physically stuff fuel. That's a bank account that gets money transferred, and so is the Valentine's Day. I've been putting that into a bank account just so that the money's there when we go out to spend it. We can just spend on the card instead of cash. So I'm looking forward to this week. It's nice having a big rollover here to be able to have, but I'm really March has got me worried, that first week of March, and this new job that my partner's going into, he'll be getting, it's a salary, so it's a base wage and then commission top up. So of course, because he's been in the trade industry for the last 13 years, it's a whole new job. So, you know, he'll do well at it, but it will take time to build up to get those commissions happening. So we're going to have to budget with the basic wage and see how we go with that. But anyway, I'll leave it here for today. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's any more sort of you want to see. My cash stuffing videos, yeah, just they're quite boring, nothing too interesting when I'm only putting $150 into an envelope, so it's not very exciting at all. Any suggestions on other things perhaps we could look into to getting a little bit of extra money to help with that March? And yeah, thanks for spending your time with me today, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.